Good morning. In this video we are going to see how to establish a connection between 4 PCs, 2 switches and a router using Cisco packet tracer. So this interconnection is really appropriate for a school environment where the various pieces of a school might want to be interconnected together. So we will need 4 pieces that we are going to use for our network. Then we're also going to need 2 switches, network devices switches. So this is switch 2916, this is another switch 2916, and also we're going to need a router. So it's a router 1941. Okay, so this is a little bit how we want our network topology to look like. So the next step, that once we have our elements, is that we need to configure the connection, the cable first of all. So we're going to use copper cable, fast Ethernet 0 here on PC0 connects to fast Ethernet 01. So here fast Ethernet 0 connects to fast Ethernet 02. For the next PC2, fast Ethernet 0 connects to switch 1's fast Ethernet 01, and PC3 fast Ethernet port will connect to switch 1's fast Ethernet 02. To interconnect the switch and the router, we will not use fast Ethernet but gigabit Ethernet because more capacity is needed for that. So we'll go to gigabit Ethernet 01, connects to gigabit Ethernet 00, and here gigabit Ethernet 01 connects to gigabit Ethernet 01. So this is how we want our network topology to look like. This is a bit the structure that we want to give it. Now realize that there are some lines that are red indicating that there is no connection, so we need to configure our terminals. So as you see on the router, all the ports were not configured, no IP address was given to it. So we start with the router configuration. We click on the router, CLI command line interface. Okay, now would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? No. So now we are in the user execution mode. We click again on enter. So router, we are in we need to click and type enable. So now we are in the privilege mode, config T. Okay, so this brings us to the global configuration mode. So the router has 2 interfaces. We start with the first interface, which is G00. Configure it given an IP address 192.168.1.1 space subnet mask 255.255.255.0. okay, then no shutdown. Okay, you realize that it says the link has changed to up. As we can see, it's no longer red but green. Okay, so click on exit. Cool. We go to the next interface on that router was interface G01. okay, so we give it an IP address 192.168.2.1 255.255.255.0 for the subnet mask. Okay, no shutdown. So also here, as we can see on the network, it has changed to up, so it's no longer down but it's up. Okay, exit. Okay, so that being said, the router configuration was successful. Now we don't need to configure the switches because they are just passive devices, but we need to configure the pieces. So we start with PC0, click on it, go to desktop, IP configuration. Now IP address. First of all, the IP address of this PC, okay, must match with the IP address of the router, because the router is a gateway here. So the gateway of this PC is the IP address of the router at that interface 00. That was 192. That was 192.168.1.1. So we can give this PC an IP address 192.168.1.1.10 and the subnet mask automatically. Okay, so PC1 similarly is going to receive an IP address 192.168.1.11 and the default gateway of 192.168.1.1, which is the IP address of the router at that interface. Okay, PC2's gateway is different from PC1's gateway because it's not connecting to the router at the same interface. So the gateway for PC2 will be the IP address of the router at the interface G01, which was 192.168.2.1. So its IP address should be similar, 192.168.2.10. Okay, same for PC3. PC3 desktop IP configuration. We'll give it 192.168.2.11 and its default gateway is 192.168.2.1. Okay, so that being said, I think that it has been configured rightly. I'm just trying to check again the configuration of the various pieces. I think it has been done rightly. Yeah, so okay, so we have configured all our devices. Now it's time to check if data is passing. So we are going to start to know if data can be sent from PC0 to PC1. So we need to ping PC1 in PC0. So we click on PC0, go to the command prompt, we ping. The IP address of PC1 was 192.168.1.11. So we see, so we realize that what packets are going, packets sent 4, receive 4, loss 0% loss. So let us ping now PC3. The IP address of PC3 was 192.168.2.11. Are packets going to flow? I'm going to see. Yeah, the first was a timeout request, but the remaining 3 packets went. Okay, ping again. Oh, sorry, ping 192.168.2.11. Okay, in this case now there's no timeout. All the 4 packets have gone. So just to say that packets are flowing, let us ping PC2. PC2 was ping. IP address of PC2 was 192.168.2.10. Okay, or 2.10. Okay, so packets are flowing. So packets are flowing in this network, just to show that it has been done well. Configuration was successful. Okay, the configuration of the network was successful. Like here, I'm just sending a packet, a PDU from router 0 to PC0, and it says successful here. Source router 0, destination PC0. I can also send a packet from router 0 to PC1. Oh, it says failed. Okay, let me say router 0 to PC2, successful. Router 0 to PC3. Successful. So the packets are successful. Okay. The information that is being sent to the packets actually always reach. So we can also simulate. Let me try again. Router 0 to PC0. Successful. Here we see successful. So basically that is what we can do. We can also simulate. We can do the simulation. Okay. To see in real time how a distribution of packets take place. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that was it. That was how packets could be sent and how the network will be configured. Thank you very much. So his packets are flowing.